Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Hager number 341D-US2C latch protector plate with a lock cutout. This is what it looks like in the package. Okay, and I've got one here on my desk removed from the package so that we can go over it in detail. Here's what it looks like. It's non-handed, meaning it's reversible. That can be taken and just turned over like that. What you're going to take note of is the cutout for the rosette. Okay. You're going to take note of the fact that this is an outswing model. It's got an offset here, and we'll talk about what that offset is for in a moment. Very importantly, you'll take note that there's a pin that sticks out of the back side of what is obviously the frame side. This would be the lock side. Okay. Now, what this is, the 341D is an outswing latch protector. The US2C means two things. It means it's made of steel and that it's zinc coated for corrosion resistance, a good corrosion resistant finish. Certainly complements stainless steel very, very well. Not exactly stainless steel, but certainly complements it very well. US2C or zinc coating is not significant. It's less than stainless steel. It is a very good option. There might be instances when you really have to have stainless steel because this is, ultimately a steel-based item. You might have to have stainless because of an exposure sort of environment. Might be a coastal situation where, stainless is the only thing that will really even give any sort of expectation of lasting, at least for a small amount of time. This is a unit that is going to be used with rosettes. Okay. A dimension here is not given for the diameter of the rosette that can be used, but you'll be using like grade 1 cylindrical lever locks. This is known to be compatible with. If you had something unusually large, you might have what's called a unit lock from decades ago that have significantly large rosettes and greater back sets as well, 3 3/4 back set. This probably wouldn't work for you. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the dimensional properties of this. This is made of 12 gauge steel, although they do state that it is steel/stainless steel. It's not. It's plain steel. This is 3-inch wide and 11-inch tall. Okay. It has that offset there. There is a link below this video to the installation instructions, and looking at that, it gives you the data that's on the package itself. Okay, so you'll be able to review that prior or after or during installation, prior to purchase, whatever the case might be. That offset is there to account for this offset is there to account for the fact that when you stand on the pull side of a door, this is outswing, so you'd only install this on the pull side. When you run your hand over the face of the door in the frame, you'll note that the door is inset in ever so slightly, generally about 3/32 of an inch. So it's quite minor, but the truth of the matter is you have to have an offset in the latch guard to account for that. So that offset is there for that. This entire recessed area that you see here is to obviously accommodate the lip of a strike plate. Okay, and that's going to work with all standard sort of strikes, 4 7/8 strikes if you're installing this on a hollow metal door and frame. Now what sets this latch guard apart from others is the pin. So you've got your 2 square punch outs here for your security screws. You're going to have a 5/16 bolt that's in there, a carriage bolt, and that is going to have the square head underneath the carriage bolt so that when it's installed it can't be turned. And the inside is going to be an Allen wrench, tamper resistant, sort of female part of this sex bolt installation. Okay. Now, once you get that installed and the instructions call out, they want you to have a 3/16 of an inch margin from where this offset starts to the edge of the door. You need to kick that over enough so that your frame is going to fall in this space here, not closer to over here. Okay. So this flat part here, they want to be back off the edge of the door 3/16. You're going to eyeball that dimension pretty obviously. You're going to mark your holes trying to get to talking about the pin, you're going to mark your holes. The installation instructions call out for a 5/16 hole, and you're going to need that drill bit for all of the holes that you'll drill. 5/16 here and here. You're going to want to go. You're going to want to drill the exterior face of the door. You'll probably want to start with a smaller, mark the center line of that, use a center punch, use a much smaller drill bit, and try to get all the way through the door so that you can determine, being sure that you have the hole drilled straight so that you can mark the other end of the door too with your 1/8 of an inch drill bit, exit through the other side. I like to only use a thin drill bit because I don't want to rupture the steel on the opposite side of the door that I'm drilling, so that it makes it difficult for this bolt to sit down on. I'll have my hole marked. I'll do a reality check to make sure that hole's in the right location, then come back from the inside with a larger drill bit to get a nice clean hole. So that hole is going to allow you to get that bolt installed. Then, once you have that installed, you're going to mark on the frame where the pin makes contact. Okay? You're just going to want to mark that however you'll go about doing that. You might just give this a very light tap just to mark it. You're probably just going to mark the paint that's on there anyway. And then you'll use a center punch. You'll be careful to drill that hole to allow the pin to go into the face of the frame. You might have mortar packed in behind that. But the point of the pin is why you're drilling the 5/16 hole, so that this goes into the hole in the frame when the door is closed, so that if someone puts a bar between the edge of the door and the frame and tries to spread that open to get the frame bowed enough so that the latch is no longer engaged and just freely swinging open, that pin helps deter that. And so many times countless times I've heard stories of people getting in just because they were able to spread the frame, even in masonry grout-packed frames. If you take a piece of wood that's 36.5 inch, and some people will tip that in there and just force it down, and they'll break the sides, just enough to get that to open. That pin is why that's there. I quite frankly wouldn't install one of these without that pin. You can get them without, but I personally wouldn't. It's just too easy of a method to help prevent break-in to not use it. And you're putting this on there for that purpose anyway. The latch guard's going to keep the honest person honest. This pin is going to make the thief's job that much more difficult, so I recommend it. The rest of the installation instructions we have already covered in the last couple of minutes. The rest of the extended description of this item is also already covered by everything that I've discussed here. Non-handed, frame prevents prying of door. It's used on 1 3/4 doors, and that's because of the bolt package that you have. Should your door thickness be unusual, you'll just need to swap that 5/16 carriage bolt out. Okay, is what you'll end up having to do. Now, Hager, quite frankly, doesn't come to my mind when it comes to latch guards, although I'm obviously aware that they make them, because Hager has so many items that they bring to market in the door hardware industry. Not only trim and auxiliary hardware like this, kick plates, door stops, residential hardware like flush poles. They have weather stripping, door closers, exit devices, lock sets. They have sliding door hardware, bypass, bifold, pocket door sort of material. But it's their namesake, Hager hinge, that they're most commonly known for. They have pretty much every available hinge for both residential and, of course, commercial / architectural use. And their comprehensive offering in the hinge area is, I think, what most people know them for. But for many, many years, they've taken that original hinge and built onto that offering with so many other items that are useful if you are a contractor. One-stop shop, I think, is their goal. If you have any questions on the Hager 341D US2C outswinging latch protector or any other Hager product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.